minds discuss other people, gossip. Good minds discuss events. Great minds discuss ideas. That was Eleanor Roosevelt.
I'm too tall to act small, you liars.
Good morning. Did anybody see the Surreal Life? It has quite a few people on there that I appreciate. But, you know, there's a lesson in everything I watch. So I feel compelled to discuss what transpired between Dennis Rodman and Tamar Braxton, who I've known of since I was a little kid. First of all, you know, that was a clear miscommunication. You know what I'm saying? So let me paint the picture for anybody who did not see that show. And, you know, we're human, but I want all viewers of that show and participants of that show to know what's up, because, like, I don't think it's right how everything panned out. So, they were at a dinner, and Tamar says something, you know, and it could have been simply to make light of a dark situation or make her feel better about an embarrassing situation, or all of the above. But either way, she says something very distasteful, and it triggered someone else. And because it triggered someone else, they projected that triggering moment to someone else. Very common in society. That's why I'm doing this video. Shh. I know what to do. Come on, go see. That's why I'm making this video right now, because what happens is projection is routinely used as in lieu of handling one's emotions. So, and I'm finna pull over because I want to look at y'all when I discuss this, because this is serious in my opinion. So bear with me 1 second. I'm gonna pull right over right here. Cause I wanna make one thing clear, I want you on top, so let your hair down. I took the night off. I'm probably gonna have to start this all over because the music. At the studio. Alright. So let me holler at y'all real quick. I was watching Surreal Life, and I was watching it truly because it was something I used to watch years ago when Flavor Flav was on there with that woman Sharon Stone. Like, so I've been watching it for so many years, and it's like when they relaunched it, I'm like, oh, let me watch it. So what happened was Dennis Rodman, Tamar Braxton, they got into a kerfuffle. Thanks, Aunt Judy. They got into a little kerfuffle, and he had been drinking. So the thing with triggers and projection is when somebody doesn't know how to face their emotions, doesn't know how to deal with their emotions, they project it onto someone else. I did that video a year ago and I said that, but you know, I guess people forget or whatever. But either way, Dennis explains that he was very vivid with his explanation on what happened to him, what he was about to do. And he was very vivid with his explanation. And in my forgiveness video, I was saying, like, you do not forget. You can't forget something that traumatized you, you know? So the fact that he was able to say the year, the circumstance, how it happened, and so forth, and this is just what they show. You know, God only knows how much else he said and how much else was done. But from what they showed all these members around the table, and in an effort to make light of a very serious and traumatizing situation, Tamar says something along the lines of, oh, when I tried to myself. Now, to me, it was her trying to deflect from the embarrassment and the real feelings she felt from that experience. So she downplayed it by saying, oh, trying to make a little joke out of it. Right. So, you know, she was trying to make light of the situation or whatever, but the end result was it triggered somebody that I don't believe had any idea had gone through that experience. And that's why you have to be so careful about what you say and what you do. Hence the reason I'm very sensitive on my platform, because I know my visions help me see and be more sensitive. Let me leave it there. So he projected his feelings from being forced to relive that situation by her saying something insensitive. But what really killed me about that was how, because he started drinking naturally, I spoke about that as well. So he started drinking and all that, and then of course he became a little more fluid and a little more reckless with his verbiage. And he said, you want to, or something like that. Like, it was very insensitive, but it goes back to what she said that was insensitive first. Now, I'm not trying to pick sides. I'm not trying to say who was right or wrong or anything like that. All I'm trying to show people is how a projected response, a deflection, can trigger someone else. You trying to avoid your trigger and trying to downplay how you really feel. Now you trigger somebody else, and their response is worse than yours. But what about what you said to him to get him to that point? So in closing, we just need to be a little more sensitive about what we say and the way we say it, because if that wasn't said, he would not have said that. Every action has a reaction. You know what I'm saying? And yo, ouch. I was telling my daughter this because I don't watch that RuPaul show. I don't need to have that show. I want him to have that show. He deserves to have that show. Yo, Dennis Rodman and RuPaul, in my opinion, are the reason the homosexual community is able to move as freely as they are. And don't get me wrong, they still can't move as freely as I'm sure they want to. Just like if you look like me, you can't move as freely as you would like to. If you are a certain religion, you can't move as free. It's just, yo, I told you, they trying to turn us into Ken and Barbie dolls. And they've been trying to do that. But RuPaul and Dennis Rodman came during an era where things would be swept under the rug. You would tell the truth, people would deny it. They would call you crazy. Does that sound familiar? They'll deflect and make it seem like, it's not true when it really is. The era like Aunt Viv, how they just switched Aunt Viv's on us and we were just supposed to and they didn't say anything about it. That's the era that I started to know them in. Now, of course, there were people before them, but I'm talking about who really propelled it, like on some next-ish, was the man who had rainbow hair while winning championships. Period. Was the man who was openly dressing up as a woman. And every time I turn around on damn near every sitcom, every joke, it was about him. So, like, they will always be winners in my book. I will always love and respect them personally. That's just how I feel. Because they earn that. They more than earn that. Because they were that way during a time where you were ostracized and treated like crap for being who you wanted to be. And they still did it. Like, and what? You know what I'm saying? I respect that. Like, nah, this is who I am. This is who I'm going to be. Period. And you have to respect anybody that does that,